good evening, and welcome to Winnipeg. Now, probably about 15 minutes ago, I finished nipping off the last of the photo etch that we needed for step 33. And there is one little piece there, I think it was B10, and it is fragile. It is so spindly. I think it's probably got to be the most spindly piece of photo etch that I've ever nipped off. Like you can almost see it here. Okay. Now let's see if I can get it to reflect in the light. Not really. It's got to get the light just right on it. There's a little piece sticking out of the bottom of it that is just so fragile. I don't know, and it seems to me that that's the little piece that has to go into the plastic part. Anyway, one of the viewers was mentioning that he's anxious to see how the Sprue Pen goes, or when we get to the lathe, or something like that. Well, we can't get to the lathe if we don't go through the other processes first. And I think what we'll do is we'll do the button click, and yeah, it'll look something like this. Only it'll have a little click button on the end of it, and let's. It doesn't really matter which one of these we take. I don't think. We may as well take a good one that's got lots of. Just in case we only make one blue Sprue pen. So we'll make it out of this. So what we've got to do now is measure off where we want to cut it. So we'll recompose and do that. Now there's one thing about the button click that is different from some of the other Sierras, and that is that the button click, the brass tube, in other words, the part that we're going to actually turn is about a quarter of an inch or so longer than the others. Like you can see here that if I put the end of the brass tube to the end of where this particular blank has been turned, you can see it's about a quarter of an inch longer. So there's actually going to be more sprue showing, if you know what I mean. Otherwise, and then of course the mechanism has a click mechanism instead of a twist mechanism. So, and it's probably because of this click mechanism that they had to have it a little bit longer, because there is sort of like a little plunger thing that goes down inside this plastic part here. Okay, I'm not going to take this apart to show you, because I don't know if I get it back together. But okay, so what we're going to do is we're just going to lay this on here and mark it off. We'll just recompose once again. Okay, clearly we are a little bit wider here than we are here. So we'll take our blank from this end here, and that way we can turn it as reasonably fat as possible. Try and make it a little bit more rounded than even this one if we can. Okay, now clearly we have to be careful that we don't measure from here in. We got to measure in from here in. We're going to lose that little bit there. And I like to make them about approximately an eighth of an inch longer, the blank an eighth of an inch longer than the tube is. And so we'll just make sure we're moved in a little bit like that, and then we can put this right here, and we can go like this. Now, when I was down in the workshop, I had a saying that I used a lot, and it's a very common saying, and it's measure twice, cut once. Okay, So you can see here now. That's about right. It could be slightly less than that, but you're going to want it a little bit in on both ends. So it will be about 1/8 of an inch in on both ends. At least that's the plan. Okay, so we're going to cut, and the blade that I'm going to be cutting with is about 1/8 of an inch, has 1/8 of an inch curve, so we'll go like this, just so that I know that the blade is going to go right in here, not on this side of the line. Once again, that's the plan. Now this blank is not long enough for 2 CR button clicks, okay? Like here's the first one, but you can see that it's just not gonna, it's gonna be just about 1/4 of an inch too short. However, we could do a button click and a Sierra twist. It will just make it. So this part is not lost. Okay, I realize that not a whole lot profitable, you might say, happened this evening. And all being well, we'll be going down in the workshop and we will cut this here, and maybe we'll be drilling the hole up the center of this part, but that's going to have to be tomorrow evening. So thanks for watching, everybody, and all being well, we will see you tomorrow.